Hello there, Zara. Alright, let's have a look at your work. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated whether universities and colleges should teach in regards to their own country history. Okay, good. Whether universities and colleges should, we don't need a capital U, should teach their own country history or that of, or foreign history. Okay? We should possibly put both sides, okay? Should teach, yeah, because we've got weather there, all right? So if you want, you can write down 5 sentences with weather, just to get to grips with it, just to grasp it. That's what I wanted to say. This essay will discuss both views using examples from the Australian government and the University of New South Wales to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Great. Now, here, the capital G, if that's the actual name of the Australian government, that's okay. If we're referring to the specific one, if we're referring to, it's a bit difficult to explain. So yeah, both are okay. I'll leave it at that. The university, yeah. On the one hand, there is ample evidence, good, that concentrating on the home country history will translate students into recent graduates with a solid knowledge of their history. Now, what does their mean? Recent graduates or the actual students? I mean, or their history as in their country. So maybe we could say a solid knowledge of their country history, or a solid knowledge of the history of their country, I think would be the best way. The central reason behind this, good, is because focusing on one country rather than all of them allows the students to analyze and discuss the different successes and failures in depth, giving the opportunity to have a clear understanding of the reasons behind and preparing them to succeed in their professional career. For example, recent empirical research by Harvard University, excellent, showed that 60% of recent graduates who specialized in their home country history found a job related to their studies within 6 months since their graduation. Within 6 months of their graduation sounds better. Okay? Must not be forgotten that although the companies are every day more globalized, one of their requirements hiring new employees is their knowledge about their own country history. Excellent. Therefore, it's conclusively clear, excellent, that concentrating on the home country history has great benefits. Okay? On the has, because history, where is it? History, yeah. On the other hand, although there is a case for concentrating on the home country benefiting the students, okay, so that needs to be rephrased. On the other hand, although there is a case, that's good, for concentrating on the history of the home country, comma, the impact of educating students with a global knowledge cannot be overstated, or the impact of educating students with a global historical knowledge, cannot be overstated. This is largely because the current world is going global, with most of the companies having employees from different countries. For example, an intensive study by the Australian government showed that 70% of young people between 16 and 25 years old have the desire of work and live. No, have the desire to work and live in another country once their studies are finished. Good. Consistent with this line of thinking, excellent, is that nowadays most of the companies consider the perfect candidate to be hired. Okay. Most of the companies consider the perfect candidate to be hired is someone who has an extensive knowledge of the global history. Okay, of global history is probably okay. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt. We don't want to be losing points on phrases like this. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that teaching history of all the countries will have a great impact in the society. Good. Will have a great impact for society would be better there. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that universities and colleges should teach global history. It is predicted that the globalization of the world will increasingly grow in importance, comma, and therefore world history has never been more important. Okay, our knowledge of world history has never been more important. Just link it to the topic. Okay, so well done. This is a fantastic essay. We've got all the phrases in that we need, so that's great. We do need to work on some of the prepositions and articles. What I recommend is you write out sentences, especially with weather, because that's quite important, and also give me 5 sentences with impact. Will have a great impact for society. Okay, research how to use impact, and then give me 5 sentences with each. Okay, Zara, it's a great task too. I'm very impressed. Good work. Dear Sir, Madam, comma, good. My name is Zara Delcano, student number, and I'm writing you in regards to the case number B. Okay. Side note here, case number 2. Or I'm writing to you in regards of my recent absence for the microeconomic exam, comma, 21/04/2018, full stop. Okay, just for clarity, that's all, because I don't know why I'm reading this letter until I get to here. Okay, and this is called reader strain. So we can even start with, I'm writing in regards to my recent absence for the microeconomic exam 21/04/2018, full stop. My name is Zara Delcano. And this way I know immediately why you are writing to me, assuming I am the receiver of this letter. If I know immediately, this reduces reader strain, and I think this is why it is the tradition or the custom just to put at the very beginning, I'm writing in regards to. Okay, on the day before the exam, okay, I would like to explain the reason why I could not sit for the microeconomic exam pastors. Okay, on the day before the exam, I started to feel unwell. Right after having breakfast, I suddenly started to feel cramps all over my stomach. A few hours after, I could not keep any food inside my body. I spent the next 2 days in bed, and it was not until the 3rd day when I had enough strength to visit my doctor, where I learnt that I had food poison. Okay, where I learnt I was suffering from food poisoning would be the best way to put it, or where I learnt I had a case of food poisoning. Unfortunately, I was unable to provide the medical evidence to the professor within the 48 hours requested. However, I have attached to this email the evidence supporting my statement. I'd like to request to be considered. Okay, I'd like to request to be considered for. I'd like to request to be considered for the next exam. That's it. I'd like to request to be considered for the next exam scheduled in the upcoming months. Okay, good. So I'd like to apologize for any inconveniences this situation may have caused. Sorry. Should you require further explanations or evidence, please do not hesitate to contact me. Good. By email or phone. Good. Kind regards, Sarah. Fantastic. Now, there is one case. In the question, it says, I'm sure it's the plural, resolutions. Okay? Here we've only put one possible resolution to consider. We could have just added, alternatively, let's see. Alternatively, I am willing to present more coursework or do extra assignments to compensate for my absence. Something like that. It's just important just to follow it to the letter, okay? Just to be really detailed. So this is great. Well done for using these phrases like this. Well done for making it clear. Everything else, did you apologize? Yes, you did apologize, so that's fantastic. So it's great. You did everything, and yeah, just be careful to be to follow it in a very detailed fashion. Apart from that, everything was very good. Also, be careful with the sentence structure. Where is it sitting? I would like to request to be considered for the next exam. Okay, or I would like to be present for the next sitting of the exam, if you did want to use sitting. Also, if you want to put 5 sentences about sitting, as in the context of sitting for an exam, feel free. And yeah, I'll give you some feedback on those as well. So well done, Zara. Excellent work.